Okay, quick video for myself, Harvey Goldman. No cuts, no edits, no filters, and no hair. So, for this video, I want to do a quick dive into supermarket club cards, loyalty points, rewards cards, and whatever else. Particularly supermarkets. I'm aware that other stores operate them. Things like Game have got their points card, which just racks up points when you buy games. Those work and there's nothing wrong with those. They are ways to genuinely save money or to stack points up to get money off for things that you're going to have bought anyway, or that your kids are buying anyway, whatever it might be. But I've now taken particular exception to the supermarket ones, and 5 supermarkets in particular that I've tried. There is only one that's got a genuine, working and fair rewards system. So about 20 years back, I first encountered Tesco's, I believe it was, that did the club card points. It must have been about 20 years ago, maybe even a bit earlier. So I was aware of these long ago, and I've always deemed it something that's never worth doing, that people mug themselves off by chasing points, and it probably encourages them to spend more than they might otherwise have done just to get those points. It's a bit like an addiction, a bit like gambling. And the supermarkets feed that to an extent. Now, we all know that supermarkets use psychology in the way they lay their stores out. It's a very, very well documented thing that you walk into a supermarket and you're encountered with fresh flowers. Then you might have fresh fruit and veg, or perhaps a bakery section, and those smells set you up for the experience in the rest of the store. Obviously, your everyday essentials that you really want, things like your milk, things like your meat, your cheese, your butter, the stuff that you really want from a supermarket, they chuck it right at the back, and you've got to go through all the carbs, all the frozen crap, and all the stuff that's covered in rapeseed oil and corn syrup and whatever else to get to the stuff that you really want. So we all know this. We also know that if, in most cases, you do a perimeter shop around the outside of the supermarket, the outside of the aisles, your diet is probably not going to be that bad. However, if you need a jar of Worcester sauce or a can of plum tomatoes and you dip into one of the aisles, they've got you. At that point, you are buggered. And then you're surrounded by carbs, by sugars, by nasty starches, foods that are just terrible for you, and obviously ultra high processed. So this is fact. Now, in amongst the rewards cards that I tried, and as I said, I'd never bothered doing it for the last 20 years, 6 weeks back I started making YouTube videos. About 2 weeks into it, I thought I'd experiment and do rewards cards. So I signed up to Tesco's, Sainsbury's, I believe it was Asda, also Morrison's, and also Lidl. And spoiler alert, Lidl is the only one that's got a decent reward system and a fair system. So to put it into context, most supermarkets that operate these systems, they have certain products in the store that are either discounted when you flash your card, or that you collect points according to the level of spend that you've made, and then that gets you money off in the form of a voucher or a token or something at a later date once you hit a certain threshold. So the worst example of these that I've encountered is Tesco. Awful. And the reason for that is that Tesco capitalise on forcing people, and I really do mean forcing people, to have their points card to be able to not pay inflated prices on certain products. And it's always the stuff that you're going to want. It might be like a jar of curry sauce or something like that. And at Tesco's, you'll see 2 prices. You'll see the one that's the club card price, which might be £2.50. And then you'll see the one, if you don't want a club card and you don't want them having your data because you don't know how they're going to use it or who they're going to sell it to, or whether they're going to lose it in its entirety, then you pay another price, and that might be £3.50. So if you stack this up over a number of items, through choice, not having or not wanting their reward system, your shopping might cost you £15 or £20 more by the time you get to the till. Now, conversely, people like me who are cash strapped wanted to do anything they could to save money, to shop smarter and to be a savvy saver and all the rest of it, at the till. You sign up for these systems, and it's a bit like Vegas. I consider it to be almost like feeding an addiction. So you sign up to these systems, you know that you have to buy certain products to get a certain number of points to get that £5 token at the end of the week or the month or whatever. And it leads you into bad choices with your shopping. And I've noticed that very rarely are the points that they offer on things that you would want, things like apples, bananas, citrus, your fresh vegetables and all the rest of it. I mean, yes, there may be one or two, but nothing to encourage people to buy those items. And I feel that the one or two that they've offered on the fruit and veg is just to tick a government box to say that it's fair across the store within a certain percentage. Most of the rewards points that I've seen, most of the money off with club cards, it tends to be on the crap. It tends to be on stuff like, heavily processed goods. Pretty much anything that comes in a packet or a tin and is covered in salt, sugar, or, corn syrup to preserve it. And it's a bit unfair. It's almost like it's forcing people that are otherwise trying to do the right thing and save money and feed their families responsibly into making these bad choices with their diet, because they're almost beholden to a system that's become addictive to them. Or they feel that they're so close to getting that fiver if they only buy these 10 products that will give them the 500 points, and those products might be crap. It could be something like sugar-filled lollipops that they don't really want, but they've bought it just to try and get that next money off. And in doing so, probably spent more money in the first place. Now, the only one of the 5 that I tried that actually has a fair system that I feel is fair is Lidl. So shout out to Lidl for this. Lidl's system, basically, you still do need to download an app, which I'm against it. They still got your data. It still seems like a bit of a scam. But in terms of the points system, it's basically a threshold spend. So instead of collecting points on certain products, Lidl just accumulate the value of your total shop, 50 quid, 80 quid, 100 quid, whatever it might be. And then anything up to about £250 worth of shopping in a month, which, let's face it, is really easy to do. At certain stages, you get a free product. So it might be at £50, you get a free cleaning product, and there might be about 50 that you can choose from. So you might get something worth about 2 quid or 3 quid. And then at £100, they might give you a couple of punnets of strawberries, or it might be a packet of cereal of your choice. And again, it might be something that's like 4 or 5 quid. So Lidl have kind of done it the right way. They're not encouraging people to make bad choices on their shopping. They're not encouraging you to overspend. They're just saying that whatever you spend, we'll take note, and if you get to this marker, we'll give you X, Y, Z. They've sort of gamified their system a little bit as well. And I noticed this a couple of times. It has happened a couple of times since I've been using it. There's basically a roulette wheel kind of thing that you spin, and when it lands, you get something. It might be like a packet of grapes or something like that. You don't get something every time, obviously. I think in the 5 or 6 times I might have used it, I've had two things for free, which again seems quite cool, because I think they target it based on the things that you buy anyway. So for myself, I buy a lot of fresh fruit and veg. So my wins have been fresh fruit, which is great. It's things that I would have bought anyway that I'm now getting for free. So I applaud Lidl for theirs. I condemn Sainsbury's, Tesco, Asda and Morrison's for theirs. You're all a bunch of jokers, and your products are nasty. So what's your experience of this? How do you feel about the way that supermarkets play us as their customers? As I said, we're all aware of the psychology that they use in a store layout. We're all aware of this. Clothing shops do it. Famously, clothing shops pump certain smells into the doorway to put you in a good mood, to put you in the buying mood. So that, I feel, is just something that we're all accustomed to, but genuinely being scammed on the price of products, that seems a bridge too far. And as far as discrepancies in pricing, I must say that the jar of curry sauce I saw in Tesco's that was £2.50 with the club card and £3.50 without, the same jar was in Sainsbury's at £2. So go figure. Anyway, YouTube's going to put another video there. You might like it, you might not. Maybe have a look. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. What do you think about the way that supermarkets run their loyalty, club card and point schemes? Goldman, peace out.